Hey, what's going on, guys? Today, I'm going to be giving you guys my opinion and rating all the current essences in Type Soul. Before anything though, I don't usually do this a lot, but I just wanted to tell you guys that only 1.3% of you guys in my current audience are subscribed. So I was hoping I could reach 2% with you guys and steadily go upwards towards reaching content creator role, as I'm currently taking content creation a lot more seriously. Now, in any case, let's start with Tokusatsu, or the Orbital Strike Essence, or Final Flash Essence, however you want to call it. This essence did just receive a pretty big nerf, reducing the duration from 4 seconds to 1 second, meaning it's a lot less effective in keeping people stunned. Right now, for some reason, this isn't pushed in ranked. I don't know why, but once that's pushed out, I feel Tokusatsu would still be pretty high B tier. Even with 1 second, you can still use your Shikai, do some pretty decent burst damage if you make the right build. Now for Partial Essence, I think it's pretty obvious. This one's going in S tier. This essence really shines when you use a res where all their moves are solid, such as Light, Volcanica, Vamp, you name it. Next for Gran, I'm not 100% sure about it because there's barely any content made on this essence, so I actually don't know if the essence is even blockable, parryable, dodgeable, or even what the cooldown is for this move. So I have to judge it based off the Trelo, in which I know that it scales off how many people you hit with the essence, so it can do like a bar and a half if you hit 3 people. The move, from what I know, is probably going to be a low B, as the essence feels pretty situational given how it only shines when you hit multiple people with it, meaning this probably isn't as ideal as Tokusatsu, where it's good in any situation really. So now moving on to Ball of Fireworks, I'd say this is a B tier. It doesn't do crazy damage, especially if it's not point blank, but if you set it up right, you can make it work. One issue with the essence is the explosion afterwards not being true, so you could just parry or dodge it with ease. But other than that, it still does decent damage, so in my opinion, it's an alright essence. Now Horizon, I personally use this a lot, and I can definitely say it's an S tier essence, especially because of the amount of applications it has. The move essentially acts as a better split gate for those who don't like running it, especially since in some cases the move can just straight up go through block. But you can also use this essence as a get out of jail free card against Hakuda combos, and then turn around for a vertical down for an easy bar. That aside, it does great damage, applies True Pierce, and can even restore Ray if you ever have trouble keeping it up. Now next up being Shattered Comet, it's a really nice move for crowd control, especially in raids, as not only does it hit a large radius in front of you, but it also doesn't hit party members, so it's really handy for that. The move also can hit behind blocks sometimes and do some pretty good damage and even ragdoll, so I put this one at a high A tier. Now moving forward onto Unseen, personally for me, this essence kind of sits in a limbo between S and A tier, since the move is really good at evading attacks, especially Hakuda combos. The move also becomes enhanced through Lets and Visored, and combos into Fast Fang for some good damage. But the reason why I say it's in limbo for me is because the move can be blocked and even interrupted in some cases. So majority of the time, you can't just throw it out and expect it to land, especially in high elo ranked. So you kind of have to turn on your brain for that one. So I'll put it at S, but right below Horizon. They kind of just compete with each other right now. Now for Territorial, God, who even uses this? So I know the essence can be applied to both enemies and allies, but the application is incredibly situational, especially because it's absolutely useless in 1v1s. So the best thing I can think of as a use for Territorial is if you had a medic friend and just healed you within the 20 seconds of being marked. But other than that, I just can't see any other good application, especially because this has such a long cooldown. So I'm gonna have to put this at low C, like right below Gran. Moving on to Fusion. Now this essence has a lot of issues, especially with the M1 variant. It deals with a lot of bugs when you fuse with someone else, especially because sometimes it just breaks your character and then you guys are just stuck and you die. But the Fusion M2 doesn't really get affected by bugs as much. It can allow you to roll a second variant for if you choose Vasto to get something like Dodge or Regen variant on top of your already existing Hero variant. So this is pretty handy, especially because the essence also enhances your damage. However, it comes at the cost of having to be 40 medic to even use. So the essence, or even the build itself, isn't totally ideal for damage output, especially after the duration nerf and all the medic nerfs that were made across the board. So the Fusion essence, in my opinion, lost a lot of its value from the nerfs. So it would also have to come down to C tier along with Territorial. Unless the Fusion M1 was fixed, I'd put it at B tier, but since it breaks so often, I just have to bring it down. Now, last but not least, we got Crazed Blitz. This one definitely has to go into S tier, especially because of its ability to bypass block, parry, dodge, counters, and even unseen, which I actually had no idea it could do. The move is easily set up just by throwing someone up into the air since you're already point blank with the opponent. So in some cases with Crazed Blitz is that it can even be comboed after it with some moves, either with your Shikai or partial res moves. So it's a really solid essence of my book. Overall, I feel this is a pretty fair list, but if you have any opinions on the ratings, I'd be open to listen and interact in the comments about it. Other than that, that's all I got for the essences in this tier list. Let me know how you guys feel about the list or what you change, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Crazy. Popping more than once. He lost. How do you even lose?